Hello and welcome back to another Out of Spec Reviews video with our beloved Rivian R1T, and this is the entrance to the Mount Evans Scenic Byway. I wanted to do a quick video, this will be a quick one, but a very informative one because I am taking this truck up the tallest paved road in North America. From here at the base of this road near Idaho Springs, we're at about 7,500 feet elevation right now. We're going to be climbing up to over 14,000 feet, nearly 7,000 feet in gain, and it's about 28 miles, I think, from here to the summit. So I'm going to see what the truck thinks we'll use, and I'm going to calculate what we actually use, and also compare that to what we use coming back down. Because, you know, gas vehicles, just like electric vehicles, use a lot more energy getting up, but coming back down, gas vehicles burn way less, but electric vehicles gain energy. So that's one huge benefit, is the regenerative braking capabilities of electric vehicles, just like the R1T. So join me for the ride. Let's reset this trip and get going. All right, so jumping in, got the trip computer, which is in the truck screen, and you can hit, I actually just reset it, but you have to reset it, and sometimes you have to hit it multiple times to actually get the total energy reset. So that's everything zeroed out. Now we're going to navigate to the actual summit of Mount Evans. We'll see if this actually pulls it up. So it says 27 miles. It'll take 50 minutes. It says we'll get there with 111 miles remaining. That's one of the annoying things. This truck doesn't use percentages. So it thinks we're going to use, I guess, what is that? 76 miles of range to go 27 miles. And we'll see what it actually uses. My parents, they, second time in the Rivian. What do you think of it?
Love it.
He wants to buy one now.
No, I want one given to me.
Okay.
Because if I buy one, I'd have to live in it.
Yeah, you don't need a house.
Yeah.
I proved you can camp in it. So we'll head up. We'll have to take a quick stop near Echo Lake to actually get checked in because you have to have reservations now. But we're gonna go take this scenic drive.
Guys, I'd like to thank Chesapeake Climate Action Network Action Fund for sponsoring today's video. Now, we've told you about what they're doing over the last few weeks, and it's actually super exciting. They are giving away a Rivian R1T Launch Edition that they already have possession of, and they're ready to give it to you as soon as someone wins this raffle. So here's the deal. They are undersold. They've only sold about 1,700 tickets out of 4,000, which means if you already have purchased a ticket with them or you're thinking about doing it, your odds may never be better. So head to evraffle.org and purchase a ticket so you can soon, hopefully, win a Rivian R1T. Let's say you don't want a Rivian R1T, you could also choose to opt for a Tesla. You could go for a fully optioned Model S or Model X Plaid. They give you $135,000 worth of Tesla credits for you to go spend. Pretty incredible. Anyway, thank you so much to Chesapeake Climate Action Network Action Funds for sponsoring today's video. Go buy a ticket. Your odds will never be better to earn and hopefully win one of these awesome vehicles.
Super important, of course, state of charge, 64%. So we'll base everything around state of charge when we actually leave here and get up there. So I don't know, what do you guys think we're gonna get up there with?
48%.
48, okay. Mom?
No idea.
Great, that's a safe bet. We'll see, but we'll see if it says 111 miles remaining when we get up there. That'll be the interesting part. So now we're gonna start the 27-mile hike into the sky. All right, so one more thing. We are in all-purpose mode. We're just doing this, I think, how most people would do it, and we left it at standard ride height. So we're not trying to do conserve and super efficient. It's just, what would someone get in and do with their truck? Also, brake regen is on high, which will be important on the way down. Just made it past 10,400. Mom's the
Yep, 10,458.
the altitude tester, and we'll see what our efficiency has been. So we've gone almost 12 miles and 0.99 miles per kilowatt hour. So that's pretty bad. We've used 12 kilowatt hours. So yeah, 1 kilowatt hour per mile pretty much. And I have been following the speed limit. I should mention that. A lot of people do this road pretty fast, but for the sake of science, I'm following the speed limit. And we're just about to the turnoff where we get on the actual road that requires the reservation to get to the peak. So this will be the really interesting stuff. And yeah, we're not even a third of the way up. So we'll see how it goes. What do you guys think of the road?
Pretty cool.
How are you doing, Flatlanders?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Just in the water.
Love it.
Looks like they're testing new Mercedes. Howdy.
How are you?
Good, how are you doing?
I need to keep the guy. I'm good. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so it lost network connectivity. The message went away, but it said, we can't calculate whether or not you have the energy to get to the end. Should you continue? And I said yes. But now, instead of a bar of estimated miles remaining when we get to the top, it just is a red exclamation mark. So, I mean, obviously we'll get to the end, but yeah, it's interesting. They can't really calculate anything without internet. So, don't rely on that if you're adventuring with this out in the wilderness. All right, update. A couple miles in. Got 5 miles left to the summit. Passed the tree line a long time ago. How are you guys doing?
I'm sucking some air.
If Dad had a steering wheel, he'd be gripping it white-knuckled.
Yep.
But fortunately, he doesn't. After the last pull-off area, the road gets real rough. So it's technically paved, but it may as well be off-road. These views are pretty great.
Keep your eye on the road. Thank you.
We saw one marmot, but no other wildlife yet. And then I'll let you look at the... Still under 1 mile per kilowatt hour. Brief hiatus because we found some creatures. All right, just waiting on Mom as usual. And we are 2 miles from the top. Got your sheep goat, Phil?
Yep.
All right. Man, I can't believe these bicyclists doing this.
I don't know it.
Bold.
Our altitude is what now?
It's up there.
13,000 something.
Yeah,
Oh,
just over 13.
here comes the prototype.
13.5.
Prototype testing.
Yep, 13,500 feet.
How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing it.
You know Kyle's dad is named Dave too?
No.
We got 2 Daves. Made it to the top. What insane views. This is awesome. That over there is actually an old restaurant ruins. I'll tell you about that in a second. But the truck did it. What a trooper. Really comfortable, especially in that really bumpy ride. I mean, we had excellent air suspension. Let me get this back open. Let's look at our metrics and see how we did. So when we left the bottom, it was quoting 111 miles remaining. We actually made it with 119 remaining, which is awesome. And we left the bottom with 64%, made it to the top at 41%, and averaged 0.95 miles per kilowatt hour of use, 29 kilowatt hours. That's pretty crazy. So what I'm gonna do is take a photo right now, there we go, and reset this trip right before we head back down. and then I'll take the average of both to see our actual average of the whole trip, but I want to see separately what we get going back down the mountain. And we'll see what it says on the remaining estimate when we head back down. It might have service now, although it doesn't look like it does. My phone does, but the truck doesn't. So I don't know if it'll actually tell us what it estimates will be our remaining at the bottom, but it does account for elevation when it gives you that calculation, which is great. And it actually overestimated, which is really good. I'd rather see that than them undercut it and you do something you thought you could do and get in trouble at the top. So I'm gonna go take a look around. Look at that rain falling over there. This is just amazing. So here we are in the castle in the sky, as they call it. So this was built, what, in 1939 to 1941. It was the highest structure in the world, and it was a restaurant. And they had a star-shaped pattern there with huge panoramic windows of Denver, which is in the distance. And in 1979, propane explosion blew it up, and that was really sad. And but in 1992, they made this into a place for visitors to actually walk around in. So really pretty cool. Just kind of carnage of what's left. Just, as they said, twisted steel. You can see a beam sticking out right there. Concrete, which they've done some repairs to make it safe for visitors. And a couple windows over here. And I think through this window you can see the Rivian right over there. Yep. And that's the summit up there. So, castle in the sky. Oh, it's a guide to what peaks are what.
Oh my goodness.
You move this and line it up with what you're looking at, and it tells you the actual peak.
Oh, wow.
And you look down the line.
It's the old fashioned. Wow.
That's awesome. There's the road we came up on. Ready to go back down?
Yep.
You got trail mix?
I'm ready for some
For
trail
all that
mix.
hard work. Oh. Wow, what a parking spot.
Yeah.
So, yep, again, there's our stats. I already got a photo and everything. So, it says 119 miles remaining, estimating. So, time to reset that. We'll see what we get on the way down. And I'm going to navigate back to, let's see, I guess I have to manually find it because the map didn't know before. We'll see if it even lets us navigate. Battery calculation unavailable. So yeah, won't do that if it's offline, which it is. So we'll start, go anyway. It doesn't know if it's in range. There we go, time for the 27-mile trek back down. This is a good thumbnail spot. Just got to the final spot where we started, all the way back in Idaho Springs. And what do you think? You guessed 48% getting up there.
Yep.
And it turns out we arrived with 41%. But then you used your old guess to be the guess for getting back here.
Yep.
And Mom still didn't guess. So, we arrived with 48%. How about that?
Oh my gosh.
So we left here this morning at 64% and only used, I guess that's 16% to get up and back down. So I guess we used, 23% to get up and gained another 7% to get back down. And so that was about 56 to 58 miles round trip, and we only used 46 of the miles from the guessometer. So lastly, we'll check our stats. So coming down, we used 3 miles per kilowatt hour. So I guess that's interesting. So I don't think they account for negatives. So the energy on this trip, we gained 9 kilowatt hours and we had like a minus 3 miles per kilowatt hour type of thing. So that's interesting. They don't really account for negatives. They don't assume you're going to do a trip all downhill. All right, so what do you guys think? Would you do it again?
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
Big fan of the mountains. And we did science at the same time. So Rivian, you just need to calculate with the minus sign for these types of trips. I know not many people would actually use a trip like this, but worth mentioning. But yep, that was a fun little trip. Thanks for joining. Thanks everyone for watching. And we'll see you on the next one. What else should I take up this mountain? For sure an electric motorcycle, that's on my list. And the Miata, yeah. That's not electric, but it's worth doing. I did see a Miata up there somehow, although I think it probably scraped on a bunch of things because the road was doing this. So, yep, I guess we learned some science, but it was kind of what we expected. What goes up must come down. So our efficiency was rocking on the way back down. This heavy 7,000 something pound truck just works with gravity, gives you power. So all the gas trucks we saw guzzling gas to get up there did not gain anything coming down. So that's one difference. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.